Here we go. All right. Welcome back, everybody. We are live, 7:30 Eastern, the Groomer's Cut. We're just waiting on Miss Jennifer to show up. I'm sure she'll be here making her usual lovely entrance. So we will get going. If you're new and just joining us for the first time, please click on the link in the comments on this feed because it will grant you or grant us permission to see your names in our comments. We do not always get to see names unless you give us permission if you're watching on Facebook. So please make sure so that we don't call you out and call you Facebook user because that's the names we see. This week we talked a little bit. We've been back and forth. Michelle, do we want to have any updates on the council, or do you want to hold off till later?
Well, it's just a blurb. The council won't meet again, and I believe until the 21st or the 27th. It is in the minutes or the video minutes of the last meeting.
Isn't it next Monday?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah, we set a 3-week period from the last meeting, and we were challenging everyone to bring their regular vocabulary and terminology that they use in the salon for haircuts, for pieces of equipment, for whatever. We're just starting on terminology and vocabulary. I figure that's the easiest place to start. That way we could hash out, what we would like to recognize as a standardized term or part of the vocabulary of grooming. So we're just going to go from there. So that's all I got for now until we have our next meeting. There's not a whole lot to do. Okay. Just gather your vocabulary, your terminology together, and be ready for the next meeting to participate. So,
all right, here comes Jennifer. I'm going to add her in.
Hello.
Good evening. Welcome. How are you?
I am here barely. I had to drive out to pick up 2 broken dryers that had been repaired. And to get them repaired, I have to go all the way out to Barrington, which is like an hour away from my shop. So
you should just rent them. You know how easy it is to rent them? That the minute a dryer goes down, I get one overnighted.
I've never heard that.
Without a dryer.
I know a lot of people that do that. Yeah.
Where you must later tell me that about where that. I'm serious. I want to know about that program. I think that's a great idea.
I actually we can go into that right now. I actually rent from Hurry Canine in California. That is it's great. I get my alpha dryers, so they're big. Big 2-speed. They're 2-speed and they're very speed. And then we've got our baby alphas. It's $40 a month for my big dryers and $20 each a month for the little ones. And if you rent 3, you get 1 free. So I get a free. We've got I think we got 6. We have 8 dryers total.
Is that through the Canine Dryer Company, or is that through individual dealers, or how?
It's
I will
check. Yeah, I love it, and I've been doing this now for 9 years. I've never been without a dryer. I don't pay any shipping on my dryers. I don't pay any repairs. The minute something goes down, I get a brand new one. Usually I get a brand new one about every 8 months. So I don't even have to worry about it. And he takes them back and refurbishes them and sells them.
All right. Later you will give me that name of that company.
Yeah, I'll post it. I love it. It's the best thing ever.
You will post it in our Facebook group?
I will. I'll post it. Yeah.
Pro professionals. Yes. Pro educators.
Yeah. Pro educators, professionals, we're all there. Yeah. So, yep. So that's what I do. Then I don't have to worry about it.
Michelle,
it looks.
Your hair is spectacular, Michelle.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got it redone. Look at that.
I know. It looks really good. And it looks so lovely on that background.
I know. I spent extra time looking for this background to make it a fairy forest, and you can only really see a little bitty piece of it, but it's got butterflies over here. It's got because I did my butterflies today. So
I tried to put up mine, but I need to get a green screen. I'm going to break down and buy one. So I'm doing this way too often.
7 feet by 5 feet is perfect.
Yeah.
Wait, so you've bought a green screen to put behind you as opposed to using the ones on Zoom and stuff like that?
You
You
have
don't need the
to.
green screen.
You need
You
the green.
still need the actual physical green screen to project the picture onto.
Ah,
You can't just use green screen and then expect it to project. It needs that green color to
to identify. Got it.
Yeah, it was like $65, I think, for the 7 foot by 5 foot one. It comes with a stand, and you can flip the screen from green to blue
Ooh,
Oh
if
my
you
God.
have other different blue hued things that you want to do or whatever.
All right. So, but you know what's behind me? You know what that is? That is my husband. That's my husband in
Wow.
a painting done by my cousin.
Oh, cool.
So, and she's quite good. So, yeah,
Cool. All right. Well,
that's my background.
it's a beautiful background. Both of you, beautiful.
Yeah, look, there
Lovely.
he is. Hi, Bill. Hi, Bill.
All right. So, there's a lot of talk, and we've been having a lot of, well, I would just say if you're watching the news and seeing what's going on out there, it's just a whole bunch of fiascos, one after another. Hey, I'm watching our groomers out in California and Washington and everything they're going through, and the hurricanes and the tropical storms coming up. I just hope everyone is staying safe. And I know what a ringer, 2020. I can't wait to kick it out the door. I know all of us are saying that. But on that note, I've been thinking a lot the last week about the safety, everything that's going on. Not our health safety, not our personal safety, but our financial. Everything. What if there's another closure? There are not a lot of states out there that have deemed grooming essential, and that is going to put a huge, huge hit on the industry again.
I have an answer.
You have an answer.
I have an answer.
All
Here's
right.
how, and because I am the person that got Illinois groomers returned essential a month earlier than all the other industries were even considered. There was only 2 industries that got in on March 21st. We were all shut down in the entire state, everything except essential, like medical, law enforcement, all restaurants, everything was shut down. And then, but by May 1st, only 2 businesses were allowed to become essential who had been deemed non-essential. And one was lawn and garden, and the other one was pet grooming. And I was the person who made that happen. And I have a political background. I've run for office. I know people. Politics is all about relationships. Everybody should have a meeting with their state representative in person, a meeting with their state senator in person, their congressman. You should know your people who speak for you, and you should be able to call them up and email them and things like that. But that's another conversation. I should do a workshop on that at some point. But in any case, here's what made a huge difference. There is actually something that every groomer in the country can use. This is now federalized, okay? So there is this critical infrastructure, CETA, critical infrastructure, federal law that was passed after 9/11. And 9/11 was one kind of catastrophe, very horrible, sudden, dramatic, but not nationwide and not lasting on and on and on like a pandemic is, right? So it's a very different kind of crisis. But all of the critical infrastructure and setup that we created the Department of Homeland Security, where they defined critical infrastructure at the time of a crisis, all of that was written after 9/11. And that included veterinarians because they needed to care for the animals of the police officers and of the doctors. Boarding kennels could be allowed retail to sell them food. Daycare could be allowed because nurses and doctors and police officers' dogs needed to be cared for.
Yeah.
But grooming was not in that list. But what changed this year federally is that, and quite rightly so, the Department of Homeland Security redid the whole critical infrastructure language after the pandemic began, and they looked through it to see if it really was still applicable in this new pandemic model, which much of it was not. And they changed, specific to us, the section on animal care to include all animal care. All animal care was made essential by federal guidelines.
100% reliant on us to care for them.
100%. 100%.
100%.
So every grooming state, every grooming association, every jurisdiction, you now have federal guidelines that say we are essential. And our Illinois documents that we submitted to the state, that the governor's office said, oh, okay, you're essential. We will be happy to share the write-up that we gave to our governor. Anybody just wants to email me, I'll use the Illinois Professional Pet Groomers email address. It's ippga@aol.com. You can tell how old I am. I'm using AOL. But ippga@aol.com. I will send all of those documents that we did to the state of Illinois and where we got that federal language and everything. We should be hopefully good now.
Yeah, but
crossing fingers.
At this stage, this is late. Nothing's going to be moved at this point. There's too much other political stuff going on. There's other more important things that are going on that is going to not be pushing this through. So, I mean,
So I like to think
that's
of it
good
in
for future.
Yeah, I like to think of it in sections. So let's take all the politics that is happening right now, put it in a little bubble, and set it aside for just 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just talk about pandemic stuff. So in the pandemic mindset, should we be locked down for whatever reason? Jennifer is saying that we actually have federal backing that we can use to direct our state to, so that we can continue to work and continue to provide for our families and continue to keep these pets' hair under control. That's number one. Now, let's bring that bubble back. Now we're going to pop it. Wow. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So let's say that somebody gets elected. Okay. Someone will be elected.
Somebody's going to be elected. It doesn't
And no matter
matter
who that is, stuff's going to go down. Okay. Just stuff will go down because of how the relationships are happening in this country. So when stuff goes down, don't rely on then to go get your extra toilet paper or your meat in the freezer or whatever. Start making plans now. My rule of thumb is I have enough if I have enough for my family and to share with some immediate families in my neighborhood. That's how I feel I'm appropriately ready. So I am stocking paper goods. I am stocking alcohol. I have bought extensive,
especially alcohol.
Yes. Well, not just wine. Okay. 70%, 90% alcohol for actual sterilization. So, oh my gosh. Yeah. And stock your alcohol to drink as well. So you won't be drinking hand sanitizer.
Oh, you meant rubbing alcohol. Sure, Michelle. Sure.
But you can stock up on your wine as well, or your favorite beverage of choice. But I'm saying that every time you go to the grocery store, get one item or get one thing, get one extra pack of cleaning supplies, get one extra pack of paper towels, get one extra pack of toilet paper. All those goods can be stored. And come November, if everything's fine, then you got plenty and you got plenty to share. If stuff goes south, you will have enough for you for a couple of months and for families in your immediate area that may need your help. So if you can plan for that, get some extra canned goods, get some extra juice that you can store in the pantry, get stuff like that. That's really going to make a difference in the long run. If it's unsafe to go outside, if it's unsafe to travel to the grocery store, if people go crazy and clear the stores out, okay, and here's another one. If they go crazy and burn the grocery store down. So you have to take all these things into consideration. Let me tell you something that we learned today that is appropriate for our topic. We went to Walmart. It's about 3 minutes down the road from our house. And there is, Catherine says, water, get water and lard. Okay, so we'll come back to that.
Why lard? I want to hear that one.
I don't know.
That's what I was going to say. I want to know about that lard.
I don't know. Don't judge. So we went to Walmart.
That would not be on my list.
Look at your local Walmart. Our Walmart has just built turrets on every corner. I wish I'd taken pictures of them so that I could actually show you what I'm talking about. It's actual guard towers on every corner. And Don, my husband, who's very strategically minded, he said, you know what? I would take them seriously if we drove back behind there and they had turrets back there too where nobody would go. So I said, okay, I'm turning the car around because I want to see what's in back of our Walmart. They're prepared for war. There's 2 big guard towers that they built in the back of my Walmart, as well as ones in the front, and new construction in the very back. You know those murder holes that are in castles walls that you can put?
It's called a crenellation. I'm a history teacher.
They
crenellation.
Those little
where
on the back
would dive in and out.
Walmart,
yes.
where you can actually, where there's gun holes, where you can put gun ports out, and they have a widow's walk of some sort. That's some kind of a scaffolding all the way around where they can walk all over the roof and still be behind that crenellation. So if you think about it, grocery stores, hospitals, fire departments, federal buildings that have underground shelter for the citizens to go when bombings happen and things like that. All of those buildings in your area, look to see whether they are fortifying, whether they are battening down the hatches, if there's extra security. These are all clues to tell you that they're preparing for stuff to go maybe a little bit south as well. So now is the time to start getting your plan together. Get your bug out bag if you're in a weird urban area that you might have to go out to the country or to a friend's house in the suburbs. So these are all things that you need to think about to keep yourself safe.
I would like equal time for a voice of calm.
Mm-hmm.
Love my friend Michelle. I don't agree here that that's the best way to prepare for what happens after November. I think that actually history shows that even when things are very, very tense, that the equilibrium of history, always the swings and the back and forth, people are going to probably more likely than going, and getting violent and social order breaking down. It's also just as likely, and I think far more likely, that what's going to happen is that this is going to be people just going, okay, phew. All right, we're through that. And now let's get back to work.
Okay, but if that happens, if that doesn't happen that way, I have extra toilet paper for you too, man.
I'm a Girl Scout. I'm always prepared. I was a Girl Scout. I'm always prepared.
Mm-hmm.
I've had food, one of those, 20 years worth of dry food storage things. I've had those in my basement for a decade. So
what she's saying is she's already prepared. So now she's trying to be the voice of reason.
Well, because it could be power outages. It could be like a tornado.
Having enough. And that's all I'm trying to tell you guys. Just err on the side of having enough.
Yeah.
It could go either way. You're absolutely correct. I am not here to say, oh my God, the world's ending, Chicken Little. Absolutely. Just make sure that you are prepared. So if you're prepared and nothing happens and everybody goes and everything dies down and it's fine, then you got some extra stuff to share. No big deal. However, if you are not ready and stuff goes down, that is a danger. That is the danger. So,
yes, well, that's where I was going with it.
Hope for the best. Absolutely.
Right. It's always good to be prepared. Be prepared. Okay.
I hope you're prepared in your business too, though.
Yes, that's how this transitions to dog grooming.
Well, it is. I mean, the one thing is, how many people, how many shops, how many owners in our industry were not prepared for what happened?
Right.
For sure.
How many people had to shut their doors and close up and gave up because it happened? And if there's another round and we all think we're free and clear and that it's not going to happen to us and you're not financially prepared business-wise, you're going to be the next ones to go. And I think that's just as important as being prepared at home. I hope every business owner out there is stockpiling cash for another 2-month shutdown.
And a good guideline is, because they say this for your own home too, if you have a mortgage for your home or if you have a condo, if for car payments, you should have enough money set aside for at least a month of payments on a house
3 months.
Three is. I've heard that as well. But if you don't even have 1 month worth of rent or mortgage or car payment or your those things that are not going to go away in terms of your payments, every business should have that as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
well,
right.
and the government can only bail out so many people. At some point, it's going to stop, and all the bailouts are going to come back on us as
Right.
business owners. We're going to have to start paying back that bailout. We might get PPP forgiveness right now, but we're still going to pay it back at some point in our careers as business owners and as employees. Employees
Or
are going to need
SBA
their
loans.
share.
How many people, that are groomers listening to us actually got SBA loans? We did. We didn't really need it, but we didn't know what was coming. So we applied for what they offered and we got it. So it's a good idea to, to have a nest egg of all of your essential payments and enough to get you through. Always.
So it's just another scary time.
Well, but you know what?
But-
It just shows the ability to get through crises is the resiliency of a survivor. Groomers are survivors. We scrape,
Amen.
we children on tips alone sometimes. I understand that.
Yeah.
We are a special breed of people. Absolutely. So we are very resilient. What we lack the most of, I believe, is financial planning for our future and for our business. We get so caught up with the shiny shares, the shiny, bows and buttons and scissors and whatever, that we forget that scissor could make a payment. That extra share could absolutely go towards, purchasing something else that the business actually needs to stay afloat. So think about it that way. Just say, you know what? I don't need those shares now. I'll get them after the first of the year, after I know everything's okay. But save those little pennies. Absolutely. They matter.
Yeah. And right now, with coming into October and a very quick election coming up, we should really be, I want to say it, hunkering down and saving those pennies just in case.
Yeah, now's not a time to be extravagant in terms of unnecessary expenditures. It's interesting. I actually had a conversation today with a young woman who had come to apply to be a groomer for me, and had told me she was going to take the job because she was working for somebody that was paying her cash under the table illegally. That she was very concerned about the other issues there as well, but mainly being paid cash and knowing that she wasn't getting Social Security, she wasn't getting workman's comp, unemployment, all of that. Which, of course, I mean, can you imagine anybody this year with an employee who wasn't getting unemployment benefits? So many groomers. I don't know about you guys in your states, but in Illinois, the ton of groomers were on unemployment for several months and would not have made it without that. So it's really to have all of your employees be W-2 legal, and for everybody to be building up Social Security benefits and making sure that you have health care, making sure that you have all of those things. It's worth it to do all of those things correctly so that when there is a crisis, you have those systems to fall back on as well.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Hello, Barker.
Oh, did you hear that?
Yes, he's so
Ellie,
cute.
shh, don't bark. Ow, it didn't work.
Hey, Ellie, you're among friends.
She's on my list right now.
That's actually my cousin, Sherry Tingle Voorhees.
She loves your hair. It looks great. We always say that. Part of what we saw here, that we were deemed essential, was a lot of shop owners in the area lost their groomers because they weren't paying enough or making enough, and they went on unemployment instead. And that created a whole other can of worms.
Set of problems, right?
Yeah,
it just we had not enough groomers to do them, so the businesses became unstable if they didn't have that money saved back. to pay their rent and their utilities.
Sue Ann is saying that an 8-month emergency fund is recommended. Wow, that's a serious amount of chunk of change. I don't have that.
8 to 12, folks. I'm sorry. You should have a 6-month and a 12-month fund.
Wow.
Absolutely. You should be able to, if something breaks, if you break both of your arms or your fingers or whatever, you should be able to have enough to carry yourself through that and through the therapy and everything else, or whatever, should you have to leave that job.
That's true. If you are the sole groomer and the sole owner of the business and you get injured, boy, that's huge.
It's over.
Yeah.
So,
and we see it on Facebook all the time in groups.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, we went too deep tonight. God, you guys depressed me.
Well, I don't think
outside.
I don't think that it's depressing. I think that it is realistic. I think that enough things have happened in our country here lately that we should care for ourselves and care for our friends and our fellow community, which is why I am of the mind to have enough for my small family and enough to share as well. I've got a couple of elderly ladies that I look in on and make sure that they're okay. And if everybody does that, then all of our communities are going to go through it okay. You know, check up on your neighbors, check up on your fellow groomers, you know, make sure everybody's okay. A lot of us may be too proud to ask, you know, they're going without. When you got extra beans in the cupboard, you know, you could be passing them along.
Well, Kat Samara agrees that we should be all saving a lot more than we do. And Kim says that that this is a little bit scary. I'm going to have to say that now I'm going to be the history teacher here. Remember, I've got a master's degree in history and education. I'm telling you, I actually think that history has done this a lot, this kind of swing stuff. And things tend to stabilize after things like this. So I think actually we have a lot of reasons to be comfortable and optimistic, but I also think that this enlightens the whole thing the whole reason that Darren, Michelle, and I got together to talk about the industry and how to become more professional, more educated, more documented, more consistent, more, with professional standards and best practices, all of these things, because our industry is a little bit not quite at that stable, strong place that you would want our industry to be in a tumultuous world. We would want our industry to be something that is very reliable and solid and dependable and all of those things. And I think that everything that we are doing as the Pet Pro educators and all of the other people that are supporting the movements towards certification and credentialing and standardization and national standards of safety care and sanitation, like the PPGSA and the Master Groomers Council on Best Practices that Michelle has organized, all of these things are going to help us to stabilize and act like other industries and be more professional. Mm-hmm. And given that a lot of groomers, I couldn't believe today this conversation with this young woman that wanted to come work for me, that was working for this woman that had been paying cash under the table. She put me on the phone with her boss to make me help her explain to her that paying somebody cash under the table is actually illegal.
It's unreal to me.
And she kept saying, she goes, well, Jennifer, tell me, how come it is that all my friends are doing this too? And I'm like, well, because you haven't been caught yet. But that's not good. That's not good. One time I filled in for 2 days to help out a friend who owned a grooming place, and it was a friend of the family actually. And I went to go work for this guy. Just for 2 days. And there was a groomer grooming next to me. And I wrote about this in a Groomer to Groomer article where I was talking about, the whole question about being, 1099 or W-2 or whatever. And she had been grooming 29 years at one place. I said, wow, you're amazing. That's 29 amazing. Years at this, that's amazing. You must be getting ready to retire, because we're both in our 50s at that point. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to have to start saving for that soon. And I said, are you on Social Security? Have you been taking out, do you have a pension plan? She had been paid cash under the table for 29 years. She had no Social Security. She said, well, I thought you kind of got Social Security whether you paid into it or not. And I'm like, no. And
unfortunately, this is more common in our industry than you would even think. Like, I'm going to say 80 to 90% of groomers now in the U.S., I'm going to say, don't have a plan for their older years unless they own, or they own more than one location, or they own something that is a one-stop shop that has training and therapy and daycare and grooming and whatever. There's a lot of us who have not planned for the future. You need to plan for your future right now. There's no reason where you have to drop dead at the grooming table at 90 because you couldn't stop, because you didn't serve. That's ridiculous.
And that just really is why the grooming industry should not fly under the radar. Everybody should know the law in your state and follow it.
Yeah.
And in most states, to be issued a 1099, you have to be a corporation. You, the groomer, would have to be incorporated.
Yes.
And not in the same line of work as the person whose space is paying you to be a groomer there as a 1099. And you would also have to receive a 1099 form for them. The standards for working as a 1099 are so high. And then you still have to pay your own taxes, your own Social Security, your own retirement planning, your own disability, your own workman's comp. It's not a good deal. Everybody in the grooming industry is moving to hourly wages or commission-based W-2s.
Yes.
Everybody is moving in that direction. And I'm really happy to say one of the major sea changes, being in 40 years of grooming and kind of watching it, in and out from above, it's really exciting to see that most people are now getting it. Yeah. We are coming into the light.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. For everybody
slow but sure.
Table, you really need to rethink that. Leave immediately. If you're being paid under the table, you leave immediately and you go to a W-2 job, period. Just don't stop, go. Pack your things nicely in your little bag and leave, and go to a salon who is paying you like an employee.
Because there are salons like me everywhere who will hire you tomorrow if you can groom. Yeah. So there's no reason to stay in that horrible situation where you're not. It's because you can't even get, if you're not paying into Social Security, you're not paying into Medicare. What's going to be your retirement health care?
Yeah, you have absolutely nothing. Not even anything from the government. You have nothing. You have nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Kim at least says that she thinks that she's stronger for following this group and learning from us. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Kim.
We're glad to have you all here.
First we scare you, then we make sure that you are smarter and stronger.
Sometimes you need to be a little afraid to put your mind right.
It is.
Here's a healthy emotion sometimes. I don't mean to strike fear in your heart. I just want you to be prepared. So, if something should go off left that you just did not expect, you're going to have the supplies that you need to care for your family, to care for your loved ones, and get through it. So just plan for that. Don't wait until the last minute. Start now. Start saving money now. Start saving all your dry goods now so that you have them. And winter's coming anyway. For those of you who live in the country, you're doing this anyway. You're used to doing this just to prepare for your winter. So,
yeah.
Kat Samard says that back in history, back in the day, people had more of a focus on being well prepared and a work ethic and the working in the, doing that day's work. Now they've lost their moral compass and they want what they want now. And the planning for the future is not so much on their radar. You're right. Living for now and what feels good now is not a wise move these days. If 2020 has taught us anything, it's taught us that.
Yeah. Yep. It's been a roller coaster of a ride this year.
I know that we're winding down up on our half an hour, but I'm going to take this moment to give you some value information. Our lovely Dara Forleo and her Whole Pet Grooming Academy have received the Icon Award from Pet Age. Woo!
What? I didn't hear that.
Yes, this is an award that's on par with AKC, who is another.
Wait, when did you hear this, Dara?
Award, ladies, and our Dara Forleo has scored one.
Dara, you're an icon at Pet Age. Pet Age is huge. That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well deserved. Oh my gosh. Well deserved.
Yeah. I had heard I was nominated, and they sent
Well
me,
deserved.
and then to see it, actually, it was Judy Brenton was the one who saw it and emailed me. I was like, oh my
Wow.
gosh, Judy.
That's great.
I like have a girl crush on Judy. So
Oh yeah, she's a goddess.
yes. So
She's a
for
goddess.
her to email me, I was like, oh
We
my
know all of the
gosh.
beautiful things that you've done
Yeah,
to
thank
get
you.
this academy going, and we are so proud. So proud
Thank
of
you.
Yes, and it really establishing the model for the future with the online. You are way ahead of everybody else in the online
We
education.
definitely have bumped it. Yeah, we have hit a
Yeah.
high. Yep, and we've got a lot coming up this coming month. Melissa is coming back for just about 3 weeks to
Yeah.
work with us and working out. She'll go home and then come back and go home and come back. So she's going to be a very familiar face at the academy. So looking forward to
look at all
working with
these
her.
people congratulating you
Yes,
in our
thank
comment
you.
section.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was kind of
Thanks,
waiting. I was
everybody.
like, do I post it?
Oh no, I'm throwing it out there. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't know if all of our listeners in the grooming community know what Pet Age is, but it's another one of those free magazines you can get just for being
Yep.
in the industry. But the Pet Age industry magazine, it is the trade magazine for the entire pet industry. There
Yep.
is a section on grooming, but there's also retail, and there's also, all the pieces,
and
reptiles and all of the all of the aspects of the pet industry, including boarding and daycare. So it's really the whole pet industry's trade magazine. It is a huge thing. It's not
honor. It is a high award. Yes, it is.
It is not just in the grooming industry. It is in the entirety of the pet industry. That is, you're an icon. I love that. We need to get you a little button that says icon.
Oh God, you're gonna let
or
it
like
go
a
to my
big
head.
clock or a bus sign
or a tiara that says icon.
I have plenty of those.
That's funny.
Yeah. No, it is good. I couldn't do it alone. Now I'm not sitting here by myself. So there are a lot of people surrounded me that has made this happen. That is the truth. I did not get
You do all the stuff that we don't want or
You
can't.
started it.
You do all that paper. Are you kidding me right now? Talking with that's insane, and it's well deserved, and I'm so happy and so proud.
Thank you.
This honor. So proud of you.
Yes.
Me too.
Yep. All right.
for
We'll
you, Dara.
post it. We'll post it. Got the little picture. It should go right on the bio.
Now, Michelle,
Well,
do you want to tell us really quick before we sign off about next Sunday?
We did. We talked a little bit about that.
Earlier, but I will reiterate that we are actually looking for your terminology and your vocabulary of the things that you use in your salon, what you call your equipment. We are starting on standardizing vocabulary and terminology within the salon. Yeah. So most of the things that we are looking for, best practices or standard of care or whatever, will be for a salon situation unless otherwise noted. For those of you who are working in the veterinary industry or do train and work in vet or tech in vet and tech in groom, there will be other things for you down the line as well. Yep. But we're focusing on salons right now because has the greatest need. So terminology,
that's a good place to start.
In a salon environment will be it will be open to the floor this coming Sunday.
That's great. We will be there. Sunday's going to be a long day for me because I also have my day long with Precision Sharp Presents. So any viewers watching.
Yes. Tell people how to register for that.
I know. $75, guys. 4
business day with Dara. A whole day with Dara.
A whole day. Yeah. It's great. 4 business classes. We'll talk a little bit about everything that's coming up. So
I was totally intrigued by the title of your four classes.
The title, let me find it. What did I put?
They were intriguing.
They were intriguing.
Yes.
What did I do? My computer's a little slow right now. Sorry. We've got business ownership, the American dream. right? After all we just talked about, capital, insurance, type of salon, employee versus 1099 contractor. We'll throw some cash deals in there, right? OSHA compliant. I think this is so
important.
huge.
So important.
Huge. Managing the dreaded changes. Yeah, I've gotten really good at this lately. Changes. You gotta change. As a business owner, we have to change. Have to. And then all in a day's work, your work and life balance. So this is going to be a certificate day as well from the Academy. So anybody who signs up, you take those 4 classes for $75, and you're going to get your managing director certificate.
And we should probably repeat that the whole Pet Academy is as a state certified school, state credentialed school in the state of New Hampshire. This is actually not the universal case with a lot of the educational offerings in any of the grooming other certificates. This is an actual state educationally approved like a credential that has an official state school.
You'll get a seal
piece behind it. Yeah, that's actually
seal.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal that a lot of people don't know, and that's why Michelle, your article in Groomer to Groomer was very helpful to lay out the difference, like what's a credential, what's a certificate, what does it need to get certification, all of those. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep. So, all right. Well, we will talk next week then about what came down on Sunday evening after. So we don't have to really set a topic. So we'll have an update. And can you put a link for the sign up? Yes, I will. I will put it right in this feed. Let me go do that right now.
We will stay live until that is done, Sue Ann.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Get that from Precision Sharp.
Precision Sharp is doing some great. They're doing a day-long education series on a number of fronts. Good for them.
Yeah,
there it is.
Doing one a month. And I have been asked to do the lead-in for January. So I'll be doing the all day with Michelle, brought to you by Precision Sharp in January. So
yes,
fantastic. And what are you going to do? Are you going to do your esthetician skin and coat expertise stuff?
I don't know what
you're just not telling us yet.
They will probably be classes that are associated with our courses. So that's something that we're still working on. Hopefully we can offer a certificate with meaning. At the end of that particular offering. So
excellent.
Yes, we can. Because
good job.
We can do what we want. No, no, we really can't. But we kind of can.
I can just do what I need to do. Right.
Yeah. Yep. So, all right. Well, we had a nice long show tonight. Sorry, guys, for scaring anybody, but we had to talk about it. It had to come out. So
we're here to talk about those hard things anyway. So we're going to temper the fear with a little bit of love and trust that our nation will come together again and become whole and become better than it was yesterday. And that is my biggest hope. So,
and actually, Michelle, your main message of just being prepared, actually the times that we would be the most scared and the most nervous and the most insecure would be the times when we know deep down we're not prepared. So having some savings and having insurance and doing everything right from the get-go, making sure you always throughout your entire life have your safety nets in place is always good advice. Always. And that way you can relax because you know that if a tornado hits or something like that, and like last year where my house was out without power for like almost 10 days. Mm-hmm. We had a generator. We had bought a generator. So yeah, it made a difference.
Ooh. All right, ladies, let's wrap it up.
Okay.
And Bobby said, thank you for all you do. We just need to say thank you to everybody who tunes in every week and watches us. We appreciate you guys also, and we love seeing you here. So hopefully we will see you all next week, and we'll have our info out for the council. But have a great week. Happy grooming, and stay safe.
Absolutely.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Congratulations, Dara. Yay, Dara.
Thank you.